whatever I play, whatever I write, even if I try and disguise it, people automatically say, so you're obviously rooted in folk. Yes I am. I'm a folk singer. I've been working, I had music to the side, but I've been working full-time with kids, with families, you know, in social services type jobs. And I always did music on the side. And then I got to the end of last year, and last year I spent the whole year working on my bucket list. Basically, I did everything that was on my list, and I said to myself, before I am 30, I will have done these things. So it was things like climbing a mountain, learning how to basket weave, going silversmithing, I went to India, I made a music video, and I made my second album. And 2 days before my birthday, I did the last one on the list, which was go to Ireland. So then, New Year's Eve, I've achieved all of these things because my birthday's at Christmas. New Year's Eve, I spent the whole evening in tears, like, what am I doing with my life? I've had a record deal since I was 15. And I always did it on the side. So whilst I was doing my GCSEs, I did my first album. Whilst I was doing my A-levels, I did my second EP. And then it's always been tagged on as a hobby. And then I got to this New Year's Eve and I thought, why am I doing music as a hobby and working like all the hours sent to me? Well, I got given this brief at 12 o'clock and it's now 2:45. Normally I would write a song in 2 or 3 hours, simply because my practice over the last 15 years or so has had to fit around full-time work. So I will only have 3 hours or so in an evening that I can sit and write a song. And I'm the kind of personality where if I don't finish it there and then, it doesn't get finished. So mine is normally quite a short and sweet writing process, because if it doesn't write in that amount of time, chances are it's not a keeper anyway. Lavender's hue, Billy boy purple, if anything, trees they are green, blue is the sea, and if you are crowned as king over everything, will you remember me?
I like that, anticipating the beat, you know.
Call up your friends, Billy boy, you tell them everything. Black is her hair, her virtue is free, and if I am crowned fool's queen of anything, you will be done with me.
Yeah, I love it.
I gotta admit that when Norman was talking, I kind of zoned out halfway through. I don't know what had sparked it.
Don't print that. Don't print that.
Don't print that, sorry.
It's okay.
I'd written this before you gave us the brief.
Oh, okay.
And I went to the loo during the coffee break and I recorded it on my phone. And then when you gave us the brief, I was like, sod it, I'm using it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's right. And I mean, we'll talk about the merits of the song, of which there are many later on. Mm-hmm. I think just in terms of the task, it's clearly a really good AABA song. Mm-hmm. My only suggestion is that you repeat that it's a real trad thing to do, but you repeat those last two words as a
the line.
And if I can dream of all possibilities, I won't remember you. Yeah. Let's hear that one more time. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Just that line. I think it's a kind of legitimate AABA thing to do.
AABA is a structure that was quite popular in the 20s, and they use it in songs in musicals quite a lot. And to be honest, I hadn't heard of it before this morning, but I do like Wikipedia. And Wikipedia has told me that it is about a melody, A, being used, A, then it goes somewhere off in a different direction. Maybe it goes higher, it modulates, but the second melody cannot override the first melody. The first melody has to be the one that sticks into your head. So B is secondary, and then it drops back down to A again. And the structure is very rarely used in pop music nowadays. We like a good chorus, we like a good middle eight, and we like a good rhythm. And to some extent, AABA says that it's going to be quite a short song, which means shorter radio time, obviously. So it's quite short, But if you think of Carole King, Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? That's in AABA. And in our critiques throughout the week, we've written a song a day with different people. The critique each day, there has been something about the structure of the song. So our brief today was to write to a structure and then kind of put something of ourselves into that. I've actually got something called Erlins, which you may not have heard of, which means that I'm quite sensitive to light. I'm meant to wear coloured lenses. As you can see, I'm not wearing them. But I actually react to different colours very, very dramatically. So for my album launch in January, I said to the lighting guy, no blue. And I wasn't being a diva. I actually react really badly to blue lights. And in all the new venues around here, the lighting is blue. So I just have to suck it up and deal with it. But my lighting guy's response was to take all the blue out and just fill it with green. And I didn't tell him I was wearing a green dress. So my album launch, I looked like a complete alien. But colour is a big thing for me. Also in that when I hear music, I see colours in my head. Apparently that's a real thing. I just thought I was weird, and I don't tend to tell people. But I see colours in my head when I hear music and when I play music. So I'm not just writing a lyric and a melody. I'm making a visual thing for me. Just nobody else can see it.
What colour is your song?
Mauve and black, actually. The whole point of, I mean, different notes have different colours for me, and then they mix and they dance around. But D is very bluey, purpley as a colour. But I feel this song is actually quite dark. I mean, this is a young woman that's effectively been lied to. She was buying into something and realised that it wasn't what she thought it was. So it's quite a sad song. Basically, we all sit around in a circle and we talk about kind of how the day has gone. And then David kind of moves his hand around and he goes, you. And that's when you've got to get up and perform the song that you've done. And you can either perform it and then explain how you got to that point, which can be quite helpful in that you can hear other people's perspective of the song without the description that you give them. Or you can tell them what you did and then play them the song. And then everybody critiques the song. They tell you bits that they liked in the song, the lyrics for them that stood out, whether they related to the song. And then they tell you where maybe it felt a bit uncomfortable or it didn't flow for them. And then you can either try and tweak that for the next time. We've got to give recordings of every song that we've done on Friday. Or you can say, no, you're wrong. It's my song. But then we go through each person's song that they've written that day and critique, but in a professional way. So you're not criticising for the sake of criticising. You're trying to say, well, I might have done it this way instead. What was the meaning behind you doing it that way? So it's quite interesting, and it's interesting seeing we've all been given the same stimulus and the same brief, and we've all gone in completely different directions. You see people's personalities come out and which aspect they choose to do. And I think I've come out as quite political in that if they give me a brief, I'll often question the brief or write something that questions the whole meaning behind it. So I'm the troublemaker. So.
King over
proceed to chuck flowers at Holly.
I've done a music video. So I've done that kind of thing before, and I've been interviewed on radio a few times, but this is new. And I'm quite glad they didn't warn us, because I probably would have worried.